Hello world. Yesterday, a protest was organized by the Baloch Committee in Quetta for the release of forcibly disappeared individuals, including the Central Committee member of Baloch Committee, Biber Baloch, his brother Dr. Hamal, the Vice Principal of BMC Dr. Ilyas, Saida Baloch, and several other detainees. The state's response to the peaceful protest was brutal and violent. The police forces targeted peaceful demonstrators with baton charges, tear gas shelling, mass arrests, and indiscriminate state firing. The communication networks were disrupted, and a search operation was also launched in the Saryab region of Quetta to target and arrest additional protesters. Tragically, the violence claimed the lives of at least 3 innocent individuals. The martyred also included a 13-year-old child, Nematullah Baloch, who was shot in the chest and killed in the indiscriminate state firing. During this whole attack, dozens suffered injuries, amongst whom many injured were brought in critical condition to the civil hospital Quetta. Yet survival was never an option because following the crackdown, the hospital was also surrounded by the security forces and no one was allowed inside. No family was allowed to check if their loved ones were among the injured, and no blood donors were also allowed to help in this situation. Meanwhile, the Baloch Committee and families of deceased launched a sit-in with the lifeless bodies of the martyred at Saryab Road, Quetta, to demand justice. There has been a complete network blackout and cut-off of communication to suppress the situation till this time. In a disturbing escalation of state violence, Dr. Marang Baloch, along with other protesters and dead bodies, were forcibly disappeared during a brutal pre-dawn raid on the sit-in. At 5:30 a.m. today, security forces once again attacked the sit-in, subjecting Baloch women, children, and peaceful protesters to extreme violence. The authorities not only disappeared Dr. Marang Baloch and others, but also forcefully dragged and seized the dead bodies of the martyred protesters who had already been shot dead by the security forces in the yesterday's protest. The crackdown not only represents gross violations of human rights and an assault on the peaceful assembly and freedom of expression, but it also unveils the decade-based genocide of Baloch. The protest meant to demand return of the disappeared ended up with protesters themselves being disappeared along with the dead bodies of the martyred. Beside the one after other brutal crackdown, there is imposed a continuous complete communication blackout in Quetta. Network and internet services have been completely jammed. Roads are blocked with containers, creating a curfew-like situation and chaos in the city with no communication with the world outside. This is raising serious concerns and fear about the situation in the city and safety of the injured protesters and the enforcedly disappeared protesters, including Dr. Marang Baloch. We don't know the whereabouts of neither of the protesters and nor of the BYC leader Dr. Marang Baloch, who is also a nominee of the Nobel Peace Award and one of the Times 100 Emerging Leaders and BBC's 100 Women 2024. In the ongoing situation, we are extremely worried about her safety and life. The international community must intervene urgently to ensure the safety of Marang Baloch and others. And I would say, what more of violence and atrocities and genocide shall the Baloch endure to break the silence of the world? We call on the United Nations, the Amnesty International, the Human Rights Watch, and other human rights organizations worldwide and the people worldwide to urgently interfere and speak out on the actions of the state security forces in Balochistan and the communication blackout there. We urge these organizations to call for immediate action to protect the lives and rights of the Baloch people and demand the safe release of all political prisoners, including Marang Baloch, without any sort of conditions. The world must not remain silent in the face of such brutality. Thank you.